Labyrinth of Galleria, The Moon Society, is a gem of a game on the Switch, PlayStation, and on PC. It is a successor to the Labyrinth of Red Friend. I haven't played these games before, but I have played games like them. One of the most well-known game of this genre would probably be the PC's Wizardry, or if you played on the 3DS, the Eton Odyssey games. This game is a joy to play. It is a dungeon crawler that has over 50 hours of exploration, as well as customization of making your own companions to go into the labyrinth. But is it a game worth your time, especially on the wait for Eton Odyssey, which is, I cannot wait for that game. Well, let's hop to it and find out.
It was a success. Here, take a look at this.
The voice acting and story in this game is pretty good, though the story isn't anything to write home about. It's quite simple, really. You play as that little green guy with the one eye. He is called Fanti, or Lantern de Phantasmagoria, which is a mouthful to say. You assist the blonde girl named Eureka, who's a medium, who's there to help the Master Witch, Madame Martha, in finding these relics for the Count, whose manor that you're in, which is called Galleria. You do this by exploring labyrinths underneath the manor and fighting monsters and looking for treasure. It's a very fun set of casts that you get to meet in the game. The voice acting is really good. A lot of the characters are quite interesting too. Some people might not care for the simpleness of the story, but I think it's charming personally.
All right, little missy, we're here.
Wait, I know. It's Galleria Manor.
This screen here is where you'll be spending most of your time. Here you can use puppets the puppet maker to make puppet soldiers. They are your characters and party members. Can customize their look, gender, favorite food, and so on. What you choose can affect the status and how you level, so make sure you pay attention to what you do. You can also repair broken puppets, as they are not true living creatures in the labyrinth, they may get hurt and lose limbs, or even lose their heads in what's called gore shots. So make sure that you repair them. Repairing costs items, or it can cost silver. So keep an eye out on that, or you'll have puppets that you can no longer use. Alchemy Pot lets you buff your weapons. Here you can make weapons stronger by combining other weapons and armor to make it level up, making you hit harder and much faster. Make sure you use this when you can. It takes some mana to use. The request memo is your side quests. Here you find items on it, and you bring it here to get rewards that can help you on your journey. Make sure you do it when you can. Items on the list can be found in chests in the labyrinth, or even on creatures when you defeat them. Under that is the Witch's Pension. This is where your Fanti powers, as well as other things such as making the game harder or easier, is at. Getting items and other things you would need to go about your journey. This is very useful for you as you go about the main game. It costs mana, which is we will get to when we come to the combat. Of course, if you push X on the Switch, you can go to your characters, and you can have and equip them with stronger items and weapons so they can stand a chance. Can also choose their formation, which gives you bonuses when you're in fights, as well as selecting a covenant. A coven is what gives them their powers. So if you can have like a healer's coven, it'll give that paper soldier powers to heal and so forth. There's different covens that you can choose from witch, healer, and guardian, and so forth. Some of them will even allow you to have multiple soldiers in a line, which is very useful when you're fighting. It can also make it cost more to go into the labyrinth, which causes reinforcements. Combat and exploration is fun. If you played any of the Eton Odyssey games or the past Wizardry games on the PC, then you know what to expect. It's a dungeon crawler in a first person. You move in like a grid matter, moving left to right, forward, back, one step at a time. As you move, however, the enemies move just like you as well, so if you move forward, they move forward once, and so forth. You solve puzzles to go down to the lower floors, as well as collect treasure. Using your fancy powers that you got, you will be able to travel to areas you couldn't get to before, and go deeper into the labyrinth. Here, the game really shines. The combat in it is turn-based. Just like in any other JRPGs, you choose your attack, be it normal attack, your spells, and so forth, and then once you chose it, it plays out for you. If you played any type of JRPGs or dungeon crawlers before, I highly doubt I need to go into too much details about how the combat plays. All you need to know is it's smooth. It works. It is fun, and if you're into these type of JRPGs, it's gonna be familiar to you, and you will enjoy the combat. It is here also that's where you collect mana, one of the more important currencies that you have in the game. However, keep in mind, if you wipe in the floor and you die, you lose all your mana that you gain, so all that progress you got is gone. If you use your power to escape as well, instead of turning back and heading to the cupboard which you came from, you will lose half of the mana that you gained as well. So keep that in mind as things get tough. You gotta weigh in the costs and benefits of this game. Overall, the combat is very enjoyable and it gets very addicting, especially if you have a love for the first-person dungeon crawlers such as I do. I've been playing these games since the Wizardry games on the PC back in the days, as well as the Eton Odyssey games, so for me, it's quite familiar. It has an auto map feature, so as you're walking, the map fills up, which is something that some of the games don't have that. Other games in the past, you would actually have to map it out yourself, and this one you don't have to worry about that, which will be a welcome improvement to a lot of new players who've never played games like this before. Overall, I have to say this game is a gem of a game that should not be missed. It has a physical edition, which is what I got, and it also is on the eShop as well. I believe, I'm not sure what it costs on the eShop. I got this game for $50. So depending on if you're into this type of games, it might not be for you and you might not want to spend the money on it. However, in my verdict, as in with all my reviews, I tell you if the game's good, if it's worth your time, and if you should get it. I don't do a number system. So, is this game good? Yes, especially if you love first-person RPGs, dungeon crawlers like this. Is it worth the money? In my opinion, yes. I got this game on a whim, to be honest, because I saw a review for it, and I was looking for something to keep me over till Eton Odyssey comes out. And this game definitely scratches that itch. Is it for everyone? Probably not. If you're not into first-person dungeon crawler JRPGs games, I don't think this game is going to convince you to get into the genre at all. However, if you're open-minded enough and you're looking for a good game that has a decent story, good gameplay, dungeon crawling aspect, I highly recommend you get this game. This game is fantastic. It's a joy to play, and it's not suffering from any dreaded Switch port stuff where, you know, the game runs really better on the PlayStation than it does on the Switch because for some reason it has low latency or lagging and that stuff. It has none of that. Smooth gameplay, no stuttering, none of that stuff. It just works, and that's all that you need. So overall, folks, I hope you enjoyed this review. I'm going to be doing more reviews as time goes on. Subscribe, hit the bell type thing as ring rings, and I will see you next time. I'll see you later.